Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 11th Council for Security Cooperation in the Asia-Pacific General Conference. To begin this conference, may I please invite Dr. Thitinan Pongsuchirak, Director of ISIS Thailand, Faculty of Political Science, Chulalongkorn University, to conduct today's proceeding.
Good morning, everyone. Excellencies, distinguished participants. Welcome to Chiang Mai, Northern Thailand, the heart of mainland Southeast Asia. I want to begin first and foremost by remembering Dr. Surin Pisawant. I know there have been a lot of tributes and remembrances, an outpouring of sympathy, support, and memories of Dr. Surin. For us, he has spoken for ISIS Thailand. As the director of ISIS Thailand, I can tell you he's very generous with his time. And he's Thailand's local boy who made good. He's our finest statesman. He could and should have led the UN at one point. He could have. And he could have and should possibly lead Thailand one day. But his sudden, unexpected, and too soon of a passing has saddened all of us. So please join me in a moment of silence to remember his contribution to Dr. Surin Pisawant. Thank you. So we have some welcome remarks now by our organizers and the chairs. I want to first thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Thevawong Waropakan Institute for Foreign Affairs for co-sponsoring this with the Asia Foundation and of course CSCAP. We have had a lot of attention today, more than anticipated. I've had a number of journalists calling me and saying that, there's going to be a breakthrough in Chiang Mai. The North Koreans are going to meet with the US and things will be solved today. So we have a big task ahead of us today. I don't know if we can achieve the task, but I think that it's a good forum, CSCAP, along with the ARF, the ASEAN Regional Forum. There are not many that includes the North Koreans, so we welcome them here in Chiang Mai at this conference. And to proceed with the day, let me invite first the Deputy Governor of Chiang Mai Province, Kun Krit Thanawanit, to provide some welcome remarks for all of us.ท่านรองผู้ว่าเชิญนะครับคุณกฤษ the Deputy Governor, received his first degree from Northern University with postgraduate degrees from Chulalongkorn University and also King Institute of King Mongkut Institute in Thonburi. เชิญครับท่าน
Professor Dr. Suchit Pongkan, CSCAP Thailand's chair, keynote speakers, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. As a representative of the Governor of Chiang Mai, I'm delighted and honored to be invited to say a few words of welcome to you all this morning. Chiang Mai is the most attractive venue for seminars and conferences due to its excellent facilities and accommodations and charm and friendliness of the people. We are pleased that the Chiang Mai has been chosen as the CSCAP conference venue, so thank you for organizing the committee. Chiang Mai has long history dating back some 771 years ago. when it was far becoming the capital of the Lanna Kingdom. Nowadays, Chiang Mai is a cosmopolitan city with much to see. There are a number of beautiful classic northern Thai Buddhist temples which architectural styles are a fusion of Lanna style. I hope you will find time to enjoy the beauty and charm of the city. I have been informed that the title of the conference is Ensuring of a Peaceful Evolution of Regional Security Order in the Asia Pacific. Security and stability are of vital concern to the region as a whole, but also broader areas as Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is understandably concerned with security issues. For example, on the highland, opium had been a constant threat. However, our beloved King Phumipol Aduyadej, who has lawyer initiated project to encourage the people on the highlands grow alternative crops, such as coffee and certain vegetables and fruits which can be successfully grown in a cool climate. This lawyer project decreased problem of drugs and human trafficking, and we are dedicated to suppress them. I sincerely wish you the most successful conference in considering and solving the important and pressing issues of the regional security. May you have the most enjoyable stay in Chiang Mai and have enjoyed this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Governor Kunkrit. Thank you, Khop Kun Krap. So now let me invite our next round of welcome remarks to join me on the stage. Ambassador Nogami, Yoshiji Ogami, Ambassador, please join us. And also Dr. Surya Wong, the Director General of the ASEAN Department, and representing today the Table Wong Rural Bagan Institute for Foreign Affairs. Professor Sujit, Dr. Sujit, the Thai co-chair, and then His Excellency Kasit Pirom, our former Foreign Minister. So as you can see, we're a little bit on Thai time now. We're just stretching it by a bit. We'll make sure you have some coffee break eventually. But just for those who will be on the panels, in the sessions for role players, bear in mind now, it's the job of the moderator to calculate the time and to keep the time. So I think that we've allotted about 80 minutes per session. This means that the keynote, so-called keynote, it doesn't mean you have to keep a keynote address. There's no need for keynote address. But you're the lead presenter, lead discussant. So I think that you have, with some discretion, 10 to 12 minutes. And then the presenters, who are kind of the functional discussants, you have about 8 to 10 minutes. Please, if you use PowerPoint, be very careful. PowerPoint can take a long time. Adjust accordingly. Make sure the moderator is to leave at least half of the time, if possible, at least half of the time for participation from the floor. And we have a lot of people in the audience today. So our next speaker will be the Japan co-chair, Ambassador Nogami. Ambassador Nogami formerly was Japan's ambassador to the UK, OECD. He also was a vice minister for foreign affairs of Japan, and now he's the president, the head of the Japan Institute for International Affairs, JIIA. Ambassador Nogami.
Well, thank you. On behalf of the members of CSCAP, I would like to welcome you all. And I would like to thank the co-organizers of this CSCAP general meeting. Particularly, I would like to thank Dr. Suchit for organizing this. Dr. Suchit and myself are actually co-chairing the CSCAP this year. Actually, we are surrounded, we are inundated with a lot of issues. Needless to say, the attention in Korean Peninsula, the maritime issues surrounding East China Sea, South China Sea, threat of terrorism, program of migrant populations. We are a handful. We have to deal with those issues. And track 2 contributions, such as CSCAP contribution, will make a very important input. So our task ahead of us is, as I said earlier, handful. And I'm looking forward to a meaningful discussion during the course of next week. Thank you very much.
And now to the, thank you, Ambassador Nogami, thank you very much. Now to the co-organizer of this conference from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today, representing the Thevawong Ropagan Institute for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Surya Jindawong.
Excellencies, distinguished panelists and participants, good morning. Good morning in Thailand, good afternoon in Australia and New Zealand, good evening in the United States and Canada, and very early good morning in Europe. This represents, this is the CSCAP's diversity and breadth, comprising many different countries and of different time zones. I'd like to, first of all, acknowledge the presence of Foreign Minister Kasipiro, who will be our keynote speaker. He will speak later, but of course, thank our two co-chairs, Dr. Suchit and Ambassador Yoichi, who will be co-chairing today's events. Let me just say that the role of CSCAP has been very important throughout the years. Having been participating in the ASEAN Regional Forum, which is the Track 1 process in the Asia-Pacific region, it is almost an assumption that many of the good ideas will need to come from Track 2, because the Track 1 has certain particularities and certain formalities which cannot generate some of these good ideas. I give, for example, the new restructured ARF Annual Security Outlook, for instance, which tries to develop a much more transparent and innovative picture of the security situation in our regions came from CSCAP. The idea of an ARF vision statement, which I worked on in the year 2008-2009, came from CSCAP. Some ideas have not yet borne fruition, but is in the works, such as an idea of an early warning center to see what are some of the potential areas of challenges and threats in the region. This came from CSCAP. What does it mean? It means that CSCAP has made many contributions to peace and security in the region, much more than I guess the international community or perhaps the general public would realize. Let me just say that the topics that we'll have today is quite wide-ranging, but very important. And it is matched only by the significance of all the people gathered here with the expertise in all your fields. There are many challenges before us. I guess the most important challenge, if I were just to name one, is the pace and breadth of change that is happening in the region. Change is inevitable. We look at Buddhism, for example. One of the key principles and teachings is that the most certain thing in life is uncertainty. And if those of you who do physics or chemistry, I sort of recall it when I was in high school, the steady state or equilibrium is very transient. Most things are in a state of change all the time. And so, if you look at it, change is inevitable. It is part of the dynamics of things. The search for an equilibrium in the Asia-Pacific will be ongoing. And this is an important task for this important conference, as I said, but we are well poised to develop some good ideas given the presence of all of you here. So let me just say that look forward, representing myself and my colleagues representing the Tevawong Oropakan Institute of Foreign Affairs as a partner and supporter of CSCAP to try to see whether this group of people, we are confident that they can come up with some solutions, but to try to see whether the ideas that generated from this particular conference can find its way through various ways and means into track one so that we can complement the good work that you're doing here. So with that, I give the floor back to you, Mr. Facilitator, and thank you and look forward to a very fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sri. Yeah, we've heard from Ambassador Nogami, the Japan co-chair. Now we will hear from Dr. Sujit Bungbongkan, the Thailand co-chair. The Thailand chair of CSCAP. Professor Sujit has been around a long time. He has been, of course, professor at the Chulalongkorn University's political science faculty. Is dean twice, the director of ISIS Thailand twice. But more than that, in a more public role, he was a drafter of the Constitution in 1997. He also has been a Constitutional Court judge in the past. So very distinguished, illustrious background.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure and honor to be invited to give welcome and opening remarks to the 11th General Conference of CSCAP. Well, let me first of all welcome you to the conference as well as Chiang Mai city. CSCAP organizes a general conference every 2 years, and this year CSCAP Thailand has been assigned to host the 11th General Conference. The objective of the conference is to provide a meeting of experts, academicians, formal and active government officers, foreign service officers, and researchers in the area of international and regional security to exchange ideas and views on vital traditional and non-traditional security issues in the regions. Well, it is my hope that the conference will come up with corresponding policy recommendations to various government bodies. I would say that over the past 2 decades, the Asia-Pacific region has witnessed rapid and profound changes in the global and regional security landscapes. The rise of China as a full-fledged military and economic superpower, the uncertainties of the United States security role in the regions, as well as the security conflict and uncertainty in the Korean Peninsula. Lack of cordiality in the relationships of some countries, among some countries in the Asia Pacific.